Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great week and, happy Easter weekend already in advance. A little bit early, but still. And welcome to this new video here on Bitcoin. It's bound to be some relatively quiet days, at least in terms of real moves, because the U.S. equity markets, and I have to slow down a bit, but the U.S. equity markets are closed today. So the New York opening doesn't matter that much. What we see already is that the volume is dropping down quite a fair bit. It's down 27% over the last 24 hours. I expect that to decrease another 50% over the next 24 hours and maybe another 30-40% from Saturday to Sunday. So be aware of what that means, right? Because low volume doesn't only mean that there's less people trading Bitcoin, it also means that there's less liquidity, right? So that means that more volatility is possible. And given the way that Bitcoin is looking right now, there are some chances for some bull traps and bear traps, right? So that's what you need to be prepared for. I'll try to prepare you for that as well, but in this video. But that's we'll talk about that in a moment, because the structure here for Bitcoin is actually quite clear. And we've talked about the structure for the last couple of days already. I don't necessarily see a reason why this structure would break over the next couple of days. We might still see some fundamentals. I mean, yesterday in the middle of the day market updates, obviously we talked about, potentially getting some news about trade deals. That could still make the markets move, and in general, like, we also got some headlines about Trump looking to fire Jerome Powell. That could also provide some momentum, but at this point of time, look, I cannot speculate on that, because obviously I don't know if that's going to happen. Yesterday, the stock market opening and close was relatively stable, as you can see. We did not really have much movement. We held support as expected, but this also means, if there's no movement right here, then there's also going to be no major movements, at least not based on external fundamentals or external news, for Bitcoin. And if we take a look at Bitcoin right here, like I said, we're not going to get that equity volatility over the course of today. I also don't think we have economic data today. I mean, we have one more Federal Reserve speech later this at the end of the afternoon right here. So that's a UTC time zone. But that doesn't matter that much either. I think maybe we're going to get a headline from that, but I don't expect it. We still have a slight Coinbase Bitcoin premium, but I already told you earlier this week, I don't put too much value on this. It's an indication that users on Coinbase are bidding Bitcoin, but how much does that matter at this point of time? I don't think that much. All right. So the main thing that matters for Bitcoin right here is the fact that we are stabilizing in this area right here between 85,300, and then the support. Look, the support is pretty big. It's basically this entire high volume node right here. Let's say around 84,000, but like the main support level that would have to break for me to say, that's a bearish breakout, is 83,600. Now, like I said, we're going into a very low volume weekend, high volatility weekend. So what you need to be aware of is that, this is balanced, right? So buyers and sellers, and this is kind of just the theory behind it. But buyers and sellers have agreed that this is a fair price, with the POC being at 85,000. And 84,000 is kind of where most of the volume is traded. So unless anything major fundamentally changes, you'll have to assume that deviations from this balance, so either a move into 87,000, or a move below 83,600, is most likely to be a fake out, right? And that's what I mean with that low volatility, or at least the potential for bull and bear traps in low volatility. It's very easy for funds, market makers, whomever, to push the price up to 86,000. People will think, all right, we're breaking out. They're going too long. Longs will be liquidated, and then we'll just pull back into balance right here. All right, so ultimately for the next couple of days, unless we get some news, which could change the balance, all right, because that means that buyers and sellers have to agree on a new price. Unless we get some new news, I expect this consolidation, I expect this stability to hold. And yes, we can deviate below and above this balance right here, but I think ultimately that's always most likely to be a fake out. All right, either when it's a move into 86, 87,000, I think it's going to be a fake out, or a move into 83,600, and below that, I think it's going to be a fake out as well. All right, so that's where the main opportunities are. If there's no major news, then I think you can trade that. Don't trade the middle. All right, that's a chop. There's nothing to be gained there. But yeah, I think that's what you need to know regarding Bitcoin for now. So if you do have any questions, of course, as always, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.